behavior. Some of you may know that I am a BBC fan. I watched The Vicar of Dibley, which was a show back in the 1980s about the Church of England when women first entered into the priesthood. That was a very controversial subject back then. Then we have, coming forward, there's a new show that was out, and I love the English because they don't take a show and say, okay, we're going to run it into the ground. They set so many seasons, and that's what they do. And if you like it or not, the show's over. It goes that way. Italy was like that. And the new show I was watching was called The Rev. And it was about a vicar who was sent from an old country setting, church, him and his wife, into the heart of England, into the heart of what we would call the Badlands of England. I mean, where meth was part, and the church was failing. And he became the vicar, and he went through this whole crisis problems and started finding his talents of what he could do and what he couldn't do. And the final episode is where the Lord of the Dance came in. That's why it was in my mind. It was in it forever. And it showed him kind of in this new day and age, he went through this crisis part where he was accused of something he did not do. And the bishop was, had kind of said, I'm going to have to put you on leave until this is straightened out. And it was straightened out, but he had a crisis of faith. He saw himself as who he was, and his talents, though, were they really what he needed to have happen? And it showed him carrying a cross through the town of England, the city of England, or London, and finally he gets up on a hill and sets the cross down. His wife had called his friends and said, I don't know where he's gone, anything else, but this man on top of the hill, this bum with a 44 Colt in his hand, meets him. And the vicar is singing this song. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. I will lead you on wherever you may go. I will lead you on in the dance I know. And it's all about how he danced in front of the Pharisees. Look at the song. Theologically, it is a great song. But this bum is dancing with him and singing with him. And the vicar kind of looks at him, and they sit down on the bench together, and they start discoursing. And the vicar says, I know I'm supposed to, but maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe God was wrong, blah, 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 blah. And the bum uses the vicar's true name. And he says, I'm never wrong. And then disappears. It sets the vicar on a way to go, talent-wise. That's what God is telling us. You may think your talent is nothing. Everybody has a talent. That talent may be sweeping floors. I can't sweep a floor to save my life. That's why I have a vacuum cleaner. Mopping, I can do. Sweeping, I always miss something. And it goes all the way up into preaching. All these talents are needed to build the church. That's why Paul said, he talks about the body. Not everybody's an arm, not everybody's a tongue, not everybody's a heart. All these people come together. That's talent. That is what God has given you. That is what God has called you to do. So, in this day and age, in this time, I ask you to reflect upon that talent. What has God called you to do? Not only in this church, but in the world. Our talents are not just limited to this church. But step out in boldness. Don't be afraid to go there. Believe me, God will reward you. And you may never see what happens when you do this. You may not. but believe me, it will have an effect. So this morning, I leave you with this. Be bold. Ask God, what do you want from me? Where do you want me to go? And then follow him in